Yo, okay, so I've been getting multiple messages from different guys that go as follows. Hey, Kyle, wanted to ask you a question. I'm talking to this trans woman on Tinder. I've never really done this before. I like her. I think she's cute. We have good chemistry, but I've really put thought into it, and I'm only interested if she is post-op, and I don't know if it is acceptable to ask this question. I really don't know what to do. I don't want to be offensive. What are the do's and don'ts here? So it's a very interesting question, and I think it's cool that guys, again, multiple guys are approaching me and being vulnerable like that, and are being open to dating trans people. I think that's super cool. So I don't have all the answers, obviously. I think trans people are the ones that need to really dictate the protocol here. But I have had a few conversations with various trans people, and here are my thoughts on it. So first off, let's address that if you're not in a potential sexual encounter with a trans person, it is not cool to ask them about their surgical status. That's none of your goddamn business. We are so... society is just very fascinated by it, because trans people are different, and so we're fascinated by what's different. But the problem with that is that we are over-sexualizing people this way, and we're objectifying them this way, and so it's not healthy. And just like you wouldn't ask other people about their genitals, especially people you barely even know, it's very inappropriate to do that. Now, if we're in the context of what we're talking about here, where you are potentially going to be a sexual partner with this person, then the genital discussion is a little more, appropriate and applicable. So the first thing that I say is really, really, really put thought into if their surgical status is really a deal breaker for you. Like, if you are vibing, if you're attracted, does it matter what is going on in between their legs? Does it matter, what, type of genitals you're going to be pleasuring your romantic partner with? And there's not a right or wrong answer, by the way. I think some people, the answer is no. I fall into that category personally. I've dated post-op trans women and pre-op trans women, and it doesn't matter to me. So for me, I personally don't ask this question, because once we get to that intimate moment, I know that, it's not going to make a difference to me. Having said that, I think there's a lot of guys that it does make a difference, and they really are only interested, one way or another. So if you fall into that category, that's okay. That doesn't make you, a bad person. And I think that's really important here, that, guys need to feel safe to pursue this. And it's new territory for a lot of guys, and if you know that the surgical status is a deal breaker, I don't want your fear of having this conversation with somebody to withdraw you from the pool of people that can be in positions to provide loving relationships with trans people, because the world is running very short on those. And so I want to make it a safe space for guys. So if you fall into that category, I think you just need to approach it very, very, very delicately, because it's an invasive question. There's probably trauma and baggage associated with this for them. So I think you need to go out of your way to make it clear that that this is, a rather invasive question. Give them the opportunity to not respond. It's okay if they don't want to talk about it. And, let them know that it really isn't any of your business, but you've put a lot of thought into this, and you really like this person, you like the energy, but you know that for it to evolve to a sexual place, you just do need to kind of know the answer to that question. And I think if you approach it, from that kind of standpoint, I don't think that it's wrong for you to ask it. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people that disagree with that. I was at a dinner table where I was the only cis person, everybody else was trans, and that dinner table was very divided on this. But the majority kind of ended up siding with what I'm talking about here, which was that, look, some people are only attracted to brunettes. Some people, height is a thing. It's not a crazy thing for one's genitals to give you strong preference in terms of your sexual desires. Like, that's not a ridiculous thing. That doesn't make you transphobic if you are only down to hook up with trans people with one surgical status compared to the other. That just means you have a certain preference, and that's okay. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Now, if you disagree with me or if you have notes to add, please hit me below. Again, it is not my I'm not the authority on this. Trans people need to be dictating the kind of protocol and rules here, but it's exciting to me that guys are being vulnerable and are asking me these questions. I think that's progress. So to ensure that progress is moving correctly, if I'm getting this wrong, tell me below. Let's open a dialogue, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. Mwah.